Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Bolt City Podcast. Dave Pele, Josh Pele, Mario Heron. Again, as we start this show, the game just ended. Chargers lose 20-13 to the Baltimore Ravens. Not that like we weren't expecting the outcome of this game, guys. It's just the fact the way they do it. I mean, I think it would have been easier for me just to turn the mic on and we just start talking and you tell me what the final score was. But to see this team was actually had a chance to win this game, meaning that if it wasn't for all these turnovers and I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't know why I keep thinking optimistic. Maybe I should just stop there and go in. If it wasn't for that, it would have been something else. But at the same time, Josh, when you're watching this Charger team and you're going, hey, there's a chance. We have the ball again with less than 2 minutes, and there's an opportunity here. In your mind, do you fall for it like I do, where you're like, this is the day. Eventually, this streak has to stop. Today is the day the Chargers win, and they're going to do it in front of a national audience.
Yeah, I think I'm the dumbest person in the world because I do feel that way. There's part of me believes there's hope that the Chargers are going to do this, and then I snap back into reality and go, wait, it's not going to happen. It's the Chargers. It's not going to happen. Justin Herbert doesn't lead these drives at the end of games against good defenses, like Mike Tirico said. And I never want to hear a Mike Tirico game ever again because he's horrible to listen to. Everything about tonight sucked, from the announcers down to the referees, down to the Chargers play. Mario, do you fall for it too, or do you actually believe they're going to lose?
Oh, I believe they're going to lose 110%. Like it was.
Damn it.
I've been down that fell for that trick too many times, and I thought they were cooked before they got before Tucker missed that field goal. Like I thought they were cooked. Like I thought it was done. I wanted to turn the game off. I probably would have turned the game off. I didn't have to do this pod with you guys and just gone to bed and focus on the depression tomorrow. But to make this thing so much worse, you mentioned it, Josh, and I do want to make sure you mention these guys and take a little crap on them before we crap on the Chargers. When you're a Sunday night football game, let's try to get two guys that are going to be a little bit more entertaining than Mike and Jason Garrett. If you could have picked more vanilla ice cream and anyone. I mean, they were so plain, so boring. Like, oh my God, man. Make it a little exciting. You're putting me to sleep, dude. It's Sunday Night Football. I want to be jacked up. They don't do it. They don't get it. Chargers sucked. And the sad thing, too, Dave, is I think the Ravens did the Chargers a lot of favors to win this game.
Oh, they absolutely did. By the way, I got a comment on this. Jason Garrett is awful. You know what the sadder thing is? Those guys said goodnight tonight and basically left and did a handshake or hug on the way out the door, and they both think they hit a home run. Mike Tirico is the guy that stuck there. Al Michaels took the money with Amazon. It's Mike Tirico's show. Jason Garrett's the worst I've ever heard, ever. He has to chuckle at the end of everything he says. It doesn't matter what it is. He thinks he's the funniest guy on the planet. And I thought, well, maybe it's just nerves, but he lost his shoe. Every single time. Josh and I were counting. We're like, dude, if we did a drinking game every time Jason Garrett laughed at the end of every sentence, dude, we would have been tanked halfway through the first quarter. It was brutal. You hit it right on the head for a national game. And look, I understand it's the Chargers and you kind of want everyone to know this is our team. I mean, the players are excited about Sunday night games. Dude, it gets stuck with Jason Garrett. I don't know what happened to Chris Collinsworth. I hope everyone in his family is healthy. For them to say he just wants to spend Thanksgiving dinner with his family, well, that was 4 damn days ago. We expected to show up on Sunday night. So if there's something serious going on with this family, I apologize. But we got it. We got the half-ass team. That was ridiculous. That was terrible all the way around. So before we jump into the Ravens, and I got a comment about Joey Bosa, shocker, even though he didn't play. But when we go through and we look at this game, dude, I don't know what the hell happened. This was the worst refereeing I've ever seen, the worst officiating I've ever seen. The Justin Herbert hit out of bounds. I thought quarterbacks were off limits. That's weird because I just saw Josh Allen in Philadelphia where he flopped, and they got the huge penalty in that game, and that's Josh Allen. Justin Herbert has 2 feet out of bounds, gets smoked, and there's absolutely nothing. The guys are moving off sides on both sides, both teams, by the way. Both tackles on both teams are sitting there jumping like crazy. There's no flags, anything. I'm like, what is going on? This is the worst officiated game of the season. And look, even if the Chargers won, I'd still have the same complaints. This isn't just sour grapes. I'm not saying it ended the outcome. I'm just saying at some point it has to feel like the Chargers are in the NFL too. And it seems like we always get basically hand-me-downs. It's just nothing ever seems to go this franchise's way. A lot of emotion's going to come out in the next 40 minutes as we talk about this game. But look, here's the opportunity. You fire Staley now. You just do it tonight. If you don't do it tonight, do it first thing in the morning. But you got to make the move. Dean had to see what was going on. The crowd's booing. People extremely upset. There's nothing there. There's just nothing there. And so, Josh and I watched the game together, and we made the comment about, you look at the Ravens, you look at the Chargers, and man, it looks like they have better players. You know what? They're better coached. Those guys on the Ravens are so much better coached than the guys that we have. It's not even close. It felt like they had 14 guys on the field at sometimes. I mean, it did seem like there was just nothing there. When Herbert got sacked on that last one that was big on fourth down, where you're going, oh man, he's going to get, you better complete a pass here. But it's like, there's a blitz coming right now. Don't you see it? Well, nobody seemed to see it on the Chargers. But everyone watching on TV who has watched Charger football said, dude, you're in trouble right now. And guess what? The book on Herbert is, when it's an important situation, you blitz him because he never comes through. And forget about, hey, he's my guy. I wear the number 10 jersey, and I love Justin. I see all the comments on YouTube. Dude, all three of us are Justin guys. That means nothing when it comes to, is he the guy to win big games? And you know what? He isn't. Right now, he's not. And maybe he will be down the line. But, man, this part of his career, you better remember when you think about, he's a Hall of Famer. Okay, because right now he's not doing things a guy who's been in the league this long should be able to do, and that's win games, complete passes in big time situations, and put points on the scoreboard. And right now, he might be the best player on this team, but man, he's not good enough to win games, not the big ones, not to win games in the end. That's just what it is, man. Everything top to bottom, this whole organization stinks right now.
Yeah, the book on Justin Herbert is absolutely right. You got to blitz him at the end of the games. You got to apply pressure on him. The offensive line is not going to pick up the blitz, and even if they do, who knows if Justin Herbert's going to complete a pass to anybody not named Keenan Allen. Honestly, why would you not blitz the heck out of Justin Herbert and make him throw it to somebody not named Keenan Allen? When we're watching the game tonight, we're saying, why you didn't throw the ball to Jalen Guyton? Why? Like, it's just a waste of time. Why throw the ball to Austin Eckler on that slant at the end of the game? Even if he caught it, wasn't going to be a first down. There's just nothing there. I'm really okay with him going to Keenan Allen as much as possible, and that's what we all want as fans, obviously. And Gerald Everett, he gets into the end zone. He does the Ray Lewis dance. That's the type of stuff we want to see. Jalen Guyton doesn't bring anything to the table, Mario. Erickson makes one nice catch. He has two miscommunications with Herbert at the end of the game on go routes. There's nothing there, Mario. There's nobody to help Justin Herbert out. And if I was the other team, I would blitz him because obviously his hand still bothers him. He grimaces every time he gets tackled. And if it's not his hand, it's his leg. One of my favorite parts of the whole game, I don't know if anybody caught this, was Justin Herbert had to go to the tent to get his hand or leg or whatever checked out. And they told Quentin Johnson, get the hell out of the tent. We need guys that are going to help the team to get checked on. Get the hell out of here. And he's like, okay, I'll help out.
Then he told Easton Stick, stop warming up.
Yeah.
You aren't even getting one snap.
Yeah. Get the hell over here, Easton. But yeah, Quentin Johnson goes to the 10. He tells the medical team, my hands don't work. And they say, Quentin, they look fine. They don't work, guys. I don't know what to do. Honestly, Mario, at the end of the game, you got to blitz Justin Herbert. He has nobody to help him out, man. It's just sad out there.
It is really sad. And the Allen thing I think it was so obvious in the second half that you could just tell, even Kellen Moore was like, you know what? It's just Allen. That's just what it is. It's just Allen. I mean, Allen was catching these screen passes that, let's be honest with each other, if it was early in the season, like, oh, those are just plays for Darius Davis, Quentin Johnson. And the fact of the matter is, no, they don't believe in those guys. They don't trust them. They don't. And in a game in situations where you really needed a score, you really needed a pop, it was Allen. And then it stopped at Allen. And that was it. And, if we're being frank about the situation too, another game, guys, where Eckler was just not there. Was just really, really not there, and fumbles once again, and just doesn't match the production that we need him to have. What we did last year, it's just not close. It's just he's not the same guy, and that hurts his team greatly. And when it comes to Herbert, look, the rush was coming. We all knew it was coming. Like it was clear as day. He didn't come out of nowhere. He was up on a line of scrimmage, and the fact that there's no check, the fact that there's nothing where you let someone know to get out of your route early, to go, check to something different, that's a huge issue. Jason Garrett, bored everyone to hell, but he said there's checks, there's everything you got for every type of situation. when you go in these 1 minute drill, 2-minute drill, pick the time. And every single time it feels like Chargers just don't practice it and they're not prepared for it. They don't see it coming. And once again, Dave, we saw an example of that where you didn't see it coming. And yeah, we'll take that.
They should have. I mean, it's been the same goddamn game every weekend.
Yeah.
It's the same game.
And I'm just nervous, guys, that what we've seen from Eckler in the past 2 games, it makes me think he's more than gone. He's more than gone.
Good.
He's not going to
start the car.
Match money or income.
Dude, your Uber's here. I'll start the car. Hey, guess what? I can't swear on the show. F for that guy. I'm telling you right now. I'm so tired of Austin Eckler. I can't tell you. The fact that he sat there and he was all vocal this summer about how much running backs are worth and I'm not getting paid and none of us are getting paid what we're worth. Let's break it down a little bit. Josh, how fast was he running when they broke that play down against Green Bay last week?
13 miles an hour.
13 miles an hour, Mario. Did you see that?
Yeah.
13 miles an hour. That's 100%. Doubt it. Wasn't. He has not been the player he was before. He's upset. They gave him a raise, basically to shut up and just play football. What did I say on this show? Why did you give him a raise? He agreed to do the job for this rate. Why would you give him another $1.5 million so he would be feel good about his contract? But guess what? You gave him $1.5 million and he complained. And then he got everyone else in the NFL to complain. And how did that work out for those guys that he got on his side? Guess what? It didn't. It didn't work out for any of those guys. And Austin Eckler is going to be looking for a job, and he's going to be making a lot less than $11.5 million next year with some other team. Dude, I'm done with Austin Eckler. I can't tell you how disappointed I am. You know why? Because he's capable of doing more. And now he can't. And now he doesn't. And that's where my frustration is. Right? Coaches say it all the time. They don't want to coach effort. And with him, I have no idea what the hell is going on. By the way, on a personal note here, 3 straight drives. I have Justin Herbert. Oh, that's weird. Interception. I have Keenan Allen. Fumble. I have Austin Eckler on my team. Fumble again. 3 straight drives. I lost points. Personal note, that hurt. This damn Charger team is not good for my health. I'll tell you right now. Right before we turn on the mic, I'm like, what am I doing? I have no fingernails. I've been biting my fingernails for the last 3 hours. Completely upset. Eckler has completely driven me out of my freaking mind. Keenan Allen busts his ass. Well, hell, he ended up dropping a ball and fumbling. But that double pass, I'll tell you right now, from Kellen Moore, I liked it. I liked it a lot. That was something you don't see very often. I'm like, let's see more of that. Everyone across the NFL thought that was cool. And you know who I loved tonight was my favorite player on the field? Khalil Mack. And if you watch Khalil Mack, man, was in much better shape than I thought he was. Old man Mack was really good. He was getting held like crazy. Man, he was all over the place. He played that game like it was his last game of his career. It meant something to him. We still have a chance for the playoffs. We're in the hunt. Number 52 gave us everything he possibly had. He's my star of the game. But everyone else, man, very irritated with his entire organization. And there better be a change. By the time we do our next show, they better fire Staley. They got to shake things up. Wake up, Dean. Everyone's laughing at you.
Khalil Mack, before we get into all the negative stuff that we're going to talk about, was awesome.
Sorry,
he's done enough.
It.
Yeah. So now it's fine. I'm going to be very negative too. Don't worry about it. But Khalil Mack, give him his flowers. Chargers had 3 quarterback hits. He had 2 sacks. He was everything. Derwin James, I am sorry, has been a disappointment this year. There's times during these games where you even wonder if he's on the field. Kenneth Murray, it is impressive to go against a Ravens team that ran the ball so many times. They ran the ball 35 times. He's in the middle of the defense. He has 6 tackles, Mario. There's nobody better in the NFL at getting to the spot and missing a tackle than Kenneth Murray. He is the best in the NFL at that. He is quick. Dave even said he should change positions. Maybe he should be an outside linebacker or somebody that's trying to get after the quarterback because he just cannot make tackles in the open field. But Khalil Mack was everything and more. Keenan Allen had 16 targets, caught 14 of those for 106 yards. Keenan Allen's just awesome again, besides the fumble. The fumble was tough, but let's get back into the negativity. At the very beginning of the game, yeah, we got to get into the negative stuff. At the very beginning of the game, they do the PFF ranking, and who knows how accurate these are. You hear NFL players talk all the time about, their bull crap or whatever. Maybe they just don't like how they're ranked. Did anybody see Austin Eckler's PFF ranking out of 60 eligible running backs? Did anybody catch that?
No.
Out of 60 eligible running backs, where would you think Austin Eckler would rank? A guy that, is drafted second, first in fantasy football leagues.
It should be in the top 10 because everyone drafted him in the first round in fantasy football.
You think somewhere higher than really low, right? Where do you think, Mario? If you had to put a number on it, top 60?
I'd put him at 8. I'm guessing he'd be around 8.
Okay, 55.
The name.
Out of 60 guys that are eligible in the NFL, he's ranked as the 55th best running back. That's what we're dealing with here. Austin Eckler, goodbye. Keaton Mitchell, they're talking about how his dad used to serve popcorn for the Ravens back in the day. He's better than Austin Eckler. I mean, that guy's an undrafted rookie, and he's obviously he looks way more explosive than Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler gets the ball. There's nothing behind him. They said he's running 13 miles an hour on that play against the Packers last week, which is slower than Trey Pipkins. It's just insane when you see stuff like that coming from a guy that you expect so much from. It's really Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen out there. It's just sad, man. It's just really getting sad watching Austin Eckler try to run the ball when there's just nothing behind it.
Absolutely zero behind it. And I want to get back to one thing that you guys mentioned about the defense with Mac, because Mac was Mac Daddy tonight. I mean, it was on the table with the guy. 4 tackles, 2 sacks. He was everywhere with the pressures. We mentioned it multiple times. The run game of the Ravens was one of the best in the NFL. The run defense was supposed to be one of the best in the NFL, according to Staley. The Baltimore Ravens, 197 rushing yards over the Los Angeles Chargers. The Baltimore Ravens, for some reason, did not give Mitchell the even close amount of carries that he should have gotten in this game. 9 carries for 64 yards. They didn't really give it to him until the end of the game. Dude, if they give that guy the ball from the first quarter on and give him the amount of love he deserves, holy hell, he'd be first in the PF rankings, first off. And then 2, I don't think the Chargers would put up 10 points. I think they would put up 3. He would have owned us all night long. I mean, all freaking night long. They did us such a huge favor by not giving him more touches. God bless. Because all Chargers do is explosive plays, and all of Mitchell is explosive plays. He would have killed us all day long. The Eckler thing hurts so bad because it's like right now we need him the most, right? It's like watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. You know, when they're like, when we needed him most, he vanished. And it's like, that's what Eckler is. It's like, when we need him the most, he vanishes. He fumbles the back-to-back games. He does nothing on the run game. Where the hell is he in the passing game? I mean, where the hell is he? And it also sucks because you look at the other side of football, there's a guy like Mack that's giving us all. Giving his freaking all. I mean, the guy's going to die on the field. He's playing so damn hard. And you look at Eckler like, buddy, when are we going to pull your weight? And Keenan Allen, like you said, 14 catches tonight. I mean, Gutton, catch the freaking ball and win your matchup. I don't, dude. He doesn't get his name. You know what? Yeah, him too. And I'll say your name right when you can beat your man one-on-one and catch a freaking football. How about that? All right, do that, and then maybe you get your name said right. And Sia, you probably will never do an interview with us, but dude, I'm just saying you've been really blowing it, buddy.
Fine. No interest in talking to him. I want to talk to the guys who make the plays. I mean, dude, I mean, honest to God, there are a lot of guys wearing these uniforms. You're like, that guy doesn't belong on this team. That guy might not belong in the league. He doesn't belong in the league. I'm sorry, but when I'm sitting and I'm looking at Keenan Allen and I'm looking at Khalil Mack and I think of Antonio Gates and I look at these guys and I'm like, how many Charger players that were really good did they just waste their careers? And I mean, waste their careers meaning like didn't get them to a Super Bowl. You know, and that being said, you know, as a fan, you want to see your team reach a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl. You know, this franchise has experienced it one time. Again, Maury, I know this is going to be one of those. You're going to tell me how old I am. This is not that long ago. But do you guys remember the playoff game against the Patriots back in 2007 when LT couldn't play and Phillip Rivers, remember he tore his ACL, but he played anyway? And LT just sat on the bench with that damn dark visor with the jacket on in New England and didn't do anything to get off the bench to talk about what maybe he sees to help his backup out, to say what it takes, because you're one game away from going to the Super Bowl, which is very rare. But he like threw in the towel. If I'm not playing, then I'm not doing anything. It's one of those things that has bothered me about LT whenever I think about LT. Yeah, am I happy he's in the Hall of Fame? Absolutely. He wore the Charger uniform in the Hall of Fame. Maybe the greatest Charger of all time. But, man, that stands out to me all the time, that when push came to shove, he wasn't a team guy. And when Bosa did it tonight, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what do you mean you're sitting in the skybox eating Raisin Bran? Like, why wouldn't you be on the sideline with your teammates? Maybe you see something. Maybe you see something the way they're attacking the defensive ends. I'm looking at Khalil Mack jumping on both sides. He's sitting there gumming from his normal side. He goes over and goes, you know what, Joey's not here. I'm going to come from the right side. But then you sit there and you're going, Bosa's nowhere to be seen. He's in a skybox. I don't get it. I don't get these high-priced guys that don't say team first no matter what. I know I can't help the team physically, but I'm going to do whatever I can. Because guess what? He still got the paycheck. You still represent the Chargers. How are you not doing whatever you can to help out your teammates? I'm bothered by that. It took me back to the LT days when I realized how irritated I was during that moment. Chargers are fighting for the playoff life. Some people say, they're already out of it. Well, when you look at those standings, it says teams in the hunt. The Chargers are on that list. Probably not after tonight. They're getting last place. The Broncos have a winning record. But you sit there and you go, come on, Joey. And then it's like, why should we expect anything more from this guy, from this team? And this is another reason why Staley has to go. You got to change the culture fast. Otherwise, it's going to bleed into next year. You got to change the culture now, man. I'm sorry. That wouldn't happen with other coaches, other teams. It's a mess from top to bottom.
It's a culture thing. You said it right there. And it's been a culture thing for a long time. Even if Brandon Staley gets replaced, I can't tell you that things are going to change significantly because I think it really starts higher than the head coach. Joey Bosa being in the skybox, eating Raisin Bran is not surprising to me. Like you said, Mike Tomlin wouldn't let that slide. Any of these great, franchises, even like the Ravens, that would never happen with them. John Harbaugh wouldn't allow that. It just shows he's not a leader. I mean, no leader is up in the skybox eating cereal when he could help his team, trying to, give him tips and pointers on the field. It doesn't surprise me whatsoever.
Where would Max Crosby be? If that was Max Crosby, where would he be? On the field.
On the field, 100%. 100%. But he's not Max Crosby. The Chargers literally have a handful of players that aren't NFL players. Clearly, you watch these games, and they're clearly not NFL players, yet they get playing time for the Chargers. Keaton Mitchell, and I know they have a better offensive line, whatever, with the Ravens, is definitely better than Joshua Kelly. I'm going to tell you that for sure. He is definitely better at running the ball than Austin Eckler. I'll tell you that for sure. Justice Hill, these guys are all better than what we have. The Chargers have so many guys all over the field that are not NFL-level players. The receiving core is really, really bad. Really bad. And Quentin Johnson does not help out whatsoever. You see Zay Flowers today with 2 touchdowns. That's what it looks like. And we all know that Zay Flowers should have been the pick, or even Jordan Addison should have been the pick. The Chargers have so many guys, Mario, that aren't NFL players. We have bad leadership. We have bad players. We have a bad head coach. There's nothing that, to me, says this is a winning franchise. There's nothing about the Chargers would scare you if you're going to play them, except for Justin Herbert. But who's Justin Herbert going to throw the ball to? Keenan Allen has 14 catches, Mario, and he can't get it done. Not even close. Chargers aren't even close to, personally, I really don't even think the Chargers were that close to winning the game because they never really pulled it out. But 14 catches, what does he need? 24 catches to win the game? It's just insane.
And what worries me too is we're looking at Keenan Allen at a point of his career where he's getting up there. Can we really afford the rest of this year to throw the ball to him 14 plus times? Like, can we really afford that in this window that we so-called have? Because if so, what he's gonna be hurt next year. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if we keep up this pace, keep up his usage, dude. Next year, second game, he's gonna get hurt. First game, he's gonna get hurt. He's gonna get seriously injured. You can't have a guy at his age take this amount of hits, amount of targets. You gotta help him out. But like you said, look at the other receivers we have. We do not have NFL players. We have practice players. That's what we have. And they have no idea what to do. Like, they really don't. We saw it multiple times tonight when they ran the wrong route. And Herbert's looking at him like, all right, well, you didn't really read that well. You didn't read that, but okay, buddy. I mean, what am I going to do? It's not a good spot, and we're setting ourselves up for failure for next year, for my personal opinion. Like tonight, Herbert almost got hurt like 3 times. He was in the blue tent. That last drive, he got hurt, got up slowly once again. I'm like, are we going to hurt him right now? Is that really what we're going to do? And then we're hurt and even in a worse spot for next year. It's just not in a good place. It's not good. And I think the other thing that frustrated me tonight too is the defense did do their part, Dave. Like, for most of the game, as much as we crap on the defense and I've said bad things about Staley, and I do think at the end of the year he should be putting his house up for sale. The defense did its part, and the offense just never even came close to pulling through. Never even came close. And that part hurts, I think, the most, because there is definitely an agenda for the Ravens of what they're going to do with Zay Flowers. I felt like that was even close with the Chargers. There's no attitude coming to this game.
No, so it's funny when you look at Keenan. I know we're going to mention this later on in the week as well, but Obviously, they keep going to him. He's all Justin Herbert has. I'm interested to see what it looks like in a week, because what does Bill Belichick do? He takes away what you do best, right? Did you think Keenan Allen's going to have one of these big games? He's not against the Patriots, and the Patriots aren't a good team, but their defense seems to do their job every single week. Their offense stinks. I can't figure out what the Ravens' agenda was tonight. I was looking at Lamar Jackson and I was going, man, this guy is really good. When you watch him, every single play is really good. And then Lamar Jackson, all of a sudden, just average. He wasn't doing what he started the game off with. And it seemed like they were trying to move things around. You guys mentioned as far as even the running game and go, well, why aren't you giving the ball to the guy who's averaging 7.1 yards a carry more? But they were moving things around, almost like they almost trying to put stuff on film for teams that are scouting them for the playoffs to say what they might do. So they're throwing different looks. It didn't exactly go like a complete Ravens game. Maybe they're trying to find their way too without Mark Andrews. But the Ravens looked like they were in control the whole time. They knew they were in control the whole time. Even though the scoreboard said, you know what, maybe this is where you turn it on a little bit. The Ravens played not a typical Raven game. I'm sure if you're a Ravens fan, you weren't exactly pleased with the game. You're pleased with the scoreboard, but you aren't pleased with exactly the performance you put out there. But what John Harbaugh did today, and his coaching was a little suspect too, even on that double pass where he said, he thought the pass was a forward pass. Well, it was clearly not a forward pass. They had a first down. Well, he didn't throw the challenge flag. The coaching wasn't great on the Ravens either. As far as Staley goes in his defense, man, I'm sorry. One time's not enough for me to say this guy deserves to stay. I don't know if you saw the interview with him at halftime. Guy was speaking so fast. Did you see it, Mario? I mean, he looked like a guy that was having a breakdown. Josh wasn't by the TV at the time. He missed the halftime interview, but I don't know if you saw it. He was talking so fast. He reminded me of that dude on Breaking Bad yelling Tucker 8 million times, like he was just passing out. And I was like, is this guy okay? Like, he is breaking down right in front of us. And I think he broke down at the press conference last week, and he knows, he knows. I was teasing Josh saying, what does he say at halftime to these guys? Hey, we got to hold on to the ball. Herbert with the interception at the end, Keenan with the fumble, Eckler with the fumble. Guys, these are the kind of plays that cost guys jobs, meaning mine. I'm the guy that's going to be out of a job. But I'm not worried about the health thing, Mario, going back to what you said, going around as far as Keenan. Look, man, injuries happen in the NFL. And Keenan at age 31, if something happens, and we all cross our fingers it doesn't, you just don't know. You don't know when these injuries are going to go. You got to do something going into next year, because I think we all feel this team's not a playoff team, that you don't take the losing attitude, or that we aren't good enough. We can't keep up with everybody else going into 2024. That's why I'm telling you, you make the change now. You got to do it before the Patriots game. If Staley is coaching next week against the Patriots, ownership doesn't care. They don't. And let's be honest. Let's make changes right now on the show. Tell me if I'm wrong, okay? If it's just emotion, I'm stupid, whatever. You aren't going to fire Dean. He's not going anywhere. But you can fire John. They won't. John Spanos, his son. You can fire Telesco. You can fire Staley. Dude, you got to start cleaning house. And if you want to start with Staley now and start with the other guys as soon as the season ends, fine. But you got to start cleaning house right now. You got to prove something to the fan base that buys season tickets, to your star quarterback, and anyone else who might think about signing a contract with the Chargers in the offseason as a free agent, because you're going to cut ties with some big name salaries. Eckler's going to be gone. Bosa's going to be gone. There are guys who are going to be out the door. You're going to want to rework Khalil Mack's deal. Am I crazy when I say, hey, there are a lot of guys to fire, or the guys I said to fire, I'm out of line?
No, you're completely in line. Will John Spanos get fired? No. Should he be fired? Yes. Tom Telesco should be gone. Brandon Staley should be gone. Derek Ansley, I don't know if he does anything either. He should be gone. I don't care. It's Cyber Monday tomorrow. We probably get some good deals. I mean, get rid of these guys. I mean, these guys suck. Nothing about this team says winning. You don't have a winning culture. I mean, you have nothing. Brandon Staley to me. And I did see the halftime show, smart ass. Okay, I was upstairs. My back hurts. I was icing my back. All right, I did see the halftime show.
Sorry.
Where he talked to the guy. He looked like he was on speed. I saw the whole thing.
Yeah,
it looks like he just went through a breakup. Yeah, it looks like he went through a breakup and he's having a breakdown. Yeah, I saw the whole thing. He panics, and we saw it last week when he's talking about, don't talk about my defense. We stopped the run. Kiss my ass. You don't. You don't stop anything. You don't win games. So you can tell me stop the run. You're not winning the games. You're the head coach. It's not just the defense, it's the whole team, and you're not winning. The Broncos won 5 games in a row. The Chargers are the worst team in the division, in my opinion. I don't think the Chargers do anything really well except have a quarterback that's wasting his talent. Brandon Staley needs to be gone. He should be fired tomorrow. And I said to Dave, Dean, I think, might actually fire him because it's become a national story. When it becomes a little, like fans think that maybe he should be fired, the Dean doesn't really care. But when it becomes like a story on ESPN and stuff where people are talking about how crappy your coach is, then he gets embarrassed. And I think maybe that's the reason why he fires him.
I love that point, Josh. I think it's because it's become such a popular story. There's more pressure on it, right? Like it's just one thing for us to talk about it, a couple of Charger beat writers, but it's also different when on ESPN they're talking about it. Fox Sports are talking about it. And you look on Twitter, people are talking about it. And it's a constant theme of this guy's got to be gone. Something needs to change. And when it comes to what needs to be changed for the Chargers, I mean, again, I don't think Telesco is a horrible GM. I wouldn't say that. I think he's a very good drafter. He's done his time. It's time to move on. I think he's reached his expiration point with the Chargers. Do I think he'll never be able to get a job in the NFL again? Absolutely not. I think people would want him. People will pick him up. If you get someone to just hire his head coach and you're like, dude, you worry about the drafting, he'll do not a bad job, except for receivers, I guess. But when I look at that, I go, Telesco, we need a refresh in GM. He needs to be gone. I look at Staley, you need to be gone. And the direction of where they'll go after that's very interesting because the trend of defensive coaches right now in this next coaching cycle that we're going into has started getting really, really high, which I think is crazy and very interesting. But I'll also say, guys, I was very, very upset with Kellen Moore today. If I saw one more Eckler first down run, I was going to bang my head against the wall. What the? Why? We're just going to lose 2 yards. That's what we're going to do, Dave. We give the ball to Eckler, we're going to lose 2 yards and we're behind the sticks. Like, why the hell do you do that? That pissed me off to no end belief. And look, Kellen Moore, I'm sure, is a fantastic guy. I'm sure. I think he's a very good offense coordinator, very good football mind. But something about when you get a little mad at Kellen Moore and then like they go to him on the camera and he's just makes you want to hit him a little more. It just makes you like that more frustrated. Very nice guy.
That's funny. I feel that way with Joshua Kelly. When I see number 25 on the field, I'm like, get him off the field. I'm just done. When they're going the hurry up offense, and I was like, good, no Joshua Kelly. That's all I kept thinking in my mind. I'm just done. Like it's just the options just aren't good, guys. That's where we're at right now. I mean, it feels like we're completely throwing in the towel. We're going to be back next week, watch them against the Patriots, and fully expect a win. I would guarantee a win right now. They're going to knock off the Patriots, and we're going to get our hopes up again. That's what the sport does to us. But this team right now is frustrating. You know what this team does better than any team in the NFL right now? They got the best uniform. Even their third uniform looks cool. I mean, they do a great job for the uniforms. Hey, big round of applause to the equipment guys that had to take off every lightning bolt on every helmet, put dark numbers on the side, and change out all the face masks. That was a lot of work went into today's loss. A lot of work by those guys that probably didn't sleep during Thanksgiving week. Otherwise, we don't do a lot well. We do the uniforms really, really well. Otherwise, extremely frustrating on what this team does well. This is one of those things where, I covered this team for a long time and would go in the locker room after these games. I wish I was at this game. Like, I'm curious to know what Justin Herbert was like. And I could tell you if this guy is just, oh, well, where are my car keys at? Do I have my phone? I'll see you guys. Or is he, complaining? Was he sitting there, I wouldn't say pointing fingers, but was he have any emotion at all to the embarrassment of this franchise, of this team, of what happens every single week? I'm kind of curious to know what Justin Herbert thinks, because I guarantee you, if I had the ability to go in the locker room today, I would have been afraid to go to Khalil Mack's locker in that locker room. Like, you know what I'm saying? This guy, I guarantee, has seen enough football, has played on enough teams to know we're doing it wrong. I guarantee he's pissed.
I'm glad you brought this up. I'm not an expert at reading body language, but I'm good enough to tell you that he's been getting more frustrated each game. And I'm talking about Justin Herbert, where it actually makes me happy that he's showing more and more on camera that he's upset. When you're doing the PFF thing before the game and you're looking at where these guys are ranked and they go through the whole team, you notice that the team's ass. Justin Herbert knows that too. I mean, he knows there's nobody on this team that's going to help him. Hopefully he's doing something to get these guys to get some new players. There's no accountability with the Chargers. And we've seen this year after year where the guys screw up and they get more opportunities, and Quentin Johnston, for some reason, doesn't know the plays. There's no accountability when guys don't do their job. And I'm talking about the coaches as well. The coaches aren't obviously doing their job. The referees aren't doing their job. The Chargers aren't doing their job. But yet the Ravens, it seems like they have third stringers going in there doing their job. It's very confusing to me how we're watching the same game in the NFL, two teams. One team has so much depth. The Chargers never have any depth. That's why I think Tom Telesco ultimately should get fired. There's no depth on these Charger teams ever. There's no accountability is my point. The Chargers constantly have guys screw up, yet they get more opportunities over and over again. Kenneth Murray, if I see him get to the right part of the field and miss the tackle, I'm going to throw up all over myself. It's hard to watch this stuff, Mario. I don't know how that changes, though. Just Justin Herbert pointing a finger saying, I need better players, going to make a difference, because everybody knows the Chargers need better players. I don't know how you get out of this hole, basically.
I think it starts with the coaching, because like you said, the accountability part of the Chargers is a huge issue. And when you said that, the first thing I went back to is first play of the game for the Chargers on defense. We have 12 freaking men on the field. How do you have 12 men on the field? You go over the lineup. Like before the game, you literally go over the lineup. How do you have 12 men on the field? That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then you burn a timeout for it. You burn a timeout for the first play of the game. And you're on defense. Are you that freaking dumb? Are you that dumb?
Can I butt in real quick here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why does this keep happening when they're in the huddle, Mario? And I'm talking about the 2-minute warning. And I'm talking about the beginning of the game. I'm talking about the beginning of the half where guys don't know where to go. Makes zero sense, Mario, how this could keep happening. And I'm sorry to cut you off, but it keeps happening after them being in the huddle talking to the coaches. Makes no sense.
Like, no sense. Like, zero. And it's so easy to tell. Well, first off, you have a whole week where you're like, hey, for the first possession, this is who's on the field. You have a whole week.
Possession. The first 15 plays are scripted.
Yes. And obviously its defense is like a little bit different, but still, like, it's just absurd to me that happened. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God. And then the other thing too, in that first half, that like, it goes back to accountability and the coaching. Can someone tell Leonard what to do against a slant route? Because my God, he has no idea. They went at him with slant routes, and he was like, whoa, I've seen that one before. Wow. They just, they take 2 steps to the right and they cut back left. You don't see it coming. You have no idea. It's like, buddy, come on. It's the Chargers. It feels like they're 2 steps behind. And then when they get up to pace with you, it's only for a second and then they fall back. And Dave, it's the theme of the season.
It is. It is. I mean, it comes down to it as we talk more and more. There's so many things to point fingers out. You go, they just don't have the personnel to be successful. Maybe Brandon Staley is a great coach. Maybe they just don't have the personnel. No idea what the hell's going on. All I know is when I look at Kenneth Murray, like Josh just said, and they said he's 240, I want to see him get on a scale. If he's 240, he doesn't understand leverage. I don't believe that guy's 240. I believe he's 185. Dude, he gets pushed around like crazy. And if you're that guy that gets pushed around like crazy, don't be afraid to tackle low. What's the deal with you trying to match up shoulder pad for shoulder pad? You get pushed back every single play. Dude, I'm so burnt out on him. And hey, I'm going to point the finger. I'm going to ruin your night right now, Mario. I'm done with Darius Davis. Don't put him on offense anymore. I'm done.
It was a tough night for him.
When that guy in the Ravens told him, you're too small. Oh, my God, that was embarrassing. Right on national TV. He said, don't come out here. You're too small. And I was like, he's right. Too small. What are we doing? We just gave Gary Coleman a uniform to go out there and go get him. It was embarrassing. Somebody call CPS. That little kid can't protect himself.
He had a good run. He had a good return. He did have a good return.
It's a return. Then fine. Do your job on that. Let's not play games. What are we doing? But that's all we have. That's what we're desperate. I mean, we're completely desperate. Man, it is so frustrating. I don't say I'm more frustrated than I was with the Cowboy game because I expected, honestly, going into this game, and you heard our picks. Well, everyone picked the Ravens on this show. I was like, oh, they're going to lose. We're going to come in. We're going to do a show. We're going to talk about this is what the Chargers need to do. This is why the Ravens are good. And then we're going to come back and do a show in a few days. And we're just going to move on to New England, basically. I thought I was going to be okay, but I'm not. I'm super angry right now. I'm super frustrated with this team. From top to bottom, I'm frustrated with this team. With everybody but Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack, I just give him a hug and go, I'm sorry, I did. No one's helping you out.
Yeah,
Everyone else.
him.
And by the way, if we didn't even get into this, where was Davis tonight, Josh?
Benched.
Yeah, finally. And every one of you, all right, who nice enough to leave comments, who went after Josh, so you don't know what you're talking about. He's great. He's not great. He sat on the bench, and guess what? His replacement was so much better. So much better tonight.
Okay, so I got a theory on this. The reason why Michael Davis is benched, first off, he sucks. Second off, he can't tackle. And it's clear, right? We watched the Packers game. We watched it all season. Michael Davis is the worst tackler on a bad tackling team, and that's not even a question. Leonard at least could tackle. I mean, Mario's right. He can't cover a slant to save his life, but he could at least tackle. The guy was out there making tackles. Okay, Kenneth Murray, I'm so happy you brought this up. There's a huge part of this game where he tackles the guy, where he thought he tackled the guy 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage. The running back says, get off me. It just pushes Kenneth Murray across the line, first down. I'm like, holy crap, that is embarrassing. A running back just treats you like a little child. It sucks, man, watching that your middle linebacker get what around. Asante Samuel Jr. Morrow, on my bingo card, I had it, was dropped interception. I had it right there in the middle of the bingo card. If you drop an interception one more time and then grab your helmet like you thought you were going to caught it, don't even do that anymore. We all knew you weren't going to catch it. You're the worst hands in the league. You and Quentin Johnson need to get on the jugs machine and try to figure that thing out. It's just annoying to watch. And then the accountability thing with the referees, we can't let this slide. Justin Herbert getting laid out, way out of bounds. Is the referee going to get docked pay? Is he going to be his feet held to the fire? No. It's the same referee that did not call when Darius Davis gets hit on the punt. And then they bring in Gene to tell you that they screwed up. Great, Gene. What does that do for us? Nothing, Gene. They're not going to change it. I mean, these guys all over the field, the NFL referees across the board are bad. Chargers are bad across the board. It's just, I can't even talk anymore. I'm just so frustrated.
Yeah, thanks so much, Gene. Right back to you, Gene. Thank you for being in the studio, Gene. The referee thing, and here's my other problem with the referee thing. I saw someone tweet this. I don't remember who, so sorry for copying you on this. But I think that when a late hit like that happened, where it's very much legal and very much should have been a penalty, there's no way an O-lineman or anyone that Chargers team should be penalized for what they did after that play.
Agree.
You defend your QB, you defend your guy, you defend your teammate. That's what you do. That is a cheap shot, and that player knows exactly what he's doing when you make that hit. You're not doing that because you're going full speed and you don't know how to slow down. Not in that scenario. Usually I'm with you on that guy, but not that scenario. I've been in that position before. You're going to hurt that guy, and you're going to make sure that guy doesn't get back up. That's what you're thinking. Yeah. You can't tell me any other way. So when you make that hit and you make that choice, deal with the consequences, because there's going to be a big 300-pound man coming quickly at you. And if I was you, I would get ready to book it or close your eyes and swing for the fences. One of the two. But that thing sent me to high heaven. It's like when that happens and you see a lineman coming in, that's when I get respect for the team, back up his QB. Shouldn't be a penalty. And that honestly, Dave, idea, when a ref blows a penalty like that, he has to do an Oklahoma drill with one of the linemen.
No, I'm with you on that. I mean, you could sit there. Everybody knew you blew it. I mean, you straight out. That was a terrible situation. And again, you're supposed to protect the quarterbacks. We've gone over this a million times where people question the old NFL, new NFL, but you lose your quarterback, your team is done. It would have been bad for Sunday Night Football for Justin Herbert to be out of the game, the rest of the game, just off of a hit like that. Yeah, the fight break. You're going to penalize the Chargers, please. It's absolutely ridiculous. It was the worst I've ever seen, honestly, for this season, I should say. Worst officiating I've ever seen. We've talked about it at the very beginning of the show. But the NFL, man, like, I want to see a statement. Like, literally say, you know what, there's some terrible officiating in this game all over the place. Just all over the place. And did it cost the Chargers a win? Probably not. That's not my point. My point is, it's weird how the Chargers are always treated less than, you know? And I don't care if you're one of those big, strong, tough quarterbacks like a Jalen Hurts, as strong as can be. If it was Jalen, Eagles fans would have lost their minds. Eagles players would have lost their minds. There would have been a fight. There would have been a fight at the end of the game when you shake hands. There would have been a fight in the hallway at halftime. There would have been a fight. If that was Patrick Mahomes, you kidding me? How dare Patrick Mahomes get smoked like that out of bounds and a penalty not be called? It's Justin Herbert. So hey, anything goes. It's the Chargers. Anything goes. That's the way this organization is. Everybody treats you less than. This is the atmosphere you have created from top to bottom. This is where you're at.
That's what they've been.
Yeah, you're the B word
for a long time.
Yeah,
or the P word. Whatever word we're going with here.
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
What other words? Yeah.
Whatever. It's a pass. Pass for everybody but Chris Collinsworth, I guess. Stuck with Jason Garrett. It's a file a lawsuit.
Yeah. Every time Jason Garrett tells me what the coaching move you should make in any decision, I'm like, hold it. Like, save it, dude.
Yeah.
It's the wrong move, obviously. We've seen you coach.
Yeah. Exactly. Right? We've seen you coach. You got fired. You went from head coach
I'd go
to
for
the
it
Dallas
here.
Cowboys.
Jason, shut up. Yeah.
Yeah. Really?
Oh, can we
Go
talk
from
about that crap too from Staley? He like lost his balls and found his balls suddenly. Just keep your balls.
He does that all the time. Just be one side. Just to be one side. Just be the guy that goes for it or doesn't go for it. And Mike Tirico, of course, he's the gutsiest coach in the league. Okay, Mike. NBC leads all broadcast teams and guys you wouldn't want to hang out with. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to hang out with any of the people they throw up there. Sorry, Mario. What were you saying?
No. Like, to your point, too, it's like when people say that the gutsiest coach in the league, I'm like, dude, you watched him 2 years ago. You haven't watched him like the last. You know what I'm saying?
It just shows you're not watching the games.
Yeah, that's what I'm like, dude. I'm telling you right now, he's not as gutsy. He's not as gutsy. It's like that scene in The Heat where it's like, Melissa McCarthy. He's like, what is she doing? And he goes, oh, she's looking for my balls. And she's like, they're really small. No one see that movie? It's a very funny scene.
Melissa McCarthy?
Melissa McCarthy.
Movie? Yeah, I know what he's talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
I think you're talking about the movie. I think you're talking about the movie Heat with Robert De Niro.
Al
Not the
Pacino.
same movie.
No.
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, so that's a good one too. But also very
different. A lot different.
Yeah, a lot different. I love the if we rob a bank, we're gonna arrest you. And he's like, I'm still rob the bank. So
that is it. I don't know. Brandon Staley was up on my TV as you were talking a second ago, Mario, and I'm like, there's a part of me that feels bad for him because nobody wants to lose their job. But guess what? That's a really small part. You could take your team issued medium sweatshirt and hit the road. We'll see you on your next team if somebody hires you. Oh well. Look, we'll be back in a couple days. This is what did you say? Go back to where?
McVay.
No way.
I bet McVay will help on my bet.
Dude, if he's in the NFL, I'm going to be shocked. How can you give this guy a job? He's giving up 500 yards a game in most games. You can't give this guy a job. Not in the NFL. Whatever. I got enough problems as it is. I don't want to see his face anymore. I'll tell you that. Not wearing Charger gear. Go hang out at the public library with your little Charger hat and your Charger sweatshirt and calm down. No coffee for you. Guy, you're over the top. Look, we'll be back in a couple days. I know this show is a little depressing. We would like to hear your comments, though. Are you reading this the way we're reading it? Are we all three of us completely out of line? I am curious to know. But we do appreciate you watching the show on YouTube and putting up with us. Hell, it's therapy for us. It just came out. I don't know what you guys are going to do tomorrow when you show up to work after a 4-day weekend, after arguing with your uncle on Thursday and then having to watch that crap on Sunday night. So good luck to you this week. We'll see you on Tuesday. So, again, you can watch it on YouTube. You listen to the Odyssey app. We appreciate it. Bolt City Podcast. For Mario Heron, Josh Palais, I'm Dave Palais. We'll see you in a couple days.
And put your thoughts in which relative you hated the most during Thanksgiving.